Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Young Justice review. This is Season 4, Episode 22, Rescue and Search. Not Search and Rescue. Maybe because the town is there, it's all backwards. Anyway, we are finally here in the Nightwing arc. I can't find my Nightwing shirt. I wore it last week, and I was going to wear it this week, and I can't find it. So I got, Batman Returns logo Batman here. So anyway, jumping into the episode, we start off with what we saw last week, where Zod and Mahala Fa'ak infiltrated the bioship. Which, by the way, I made a mistake last week. I said that Mahala Fa'ak and Mantis had been apprehended. Actually, it looks like only Mantis had been apprehended. Mahala Fa'ak and Zod escaped onto the bioship, and then so basically Zod says, "I will snap her neck if you guys don't do what I say." So they don't do what she says anyway, or what he says anyway, and they go after they go the Chameleon Boy or whatever his name is. He transforms into a big monster and tries to fight Mahala Fa'ak. Bart tries to speed into the back and grab the inhibitor collars and tries to bring them in, and then Zod does the Superman from the Justice League movie where he's like watching him very slowly, and then he blows up the inhibitor collar, so then they're screwed there. So basically, they say, "Look, we need to get out of here." And they basically said, he told Bioship, he said, "I'm going to snap their neck, your new friend's neck, unless you listen to me." So they are defeated, and they take control of the Bioship. Almost 2 minutes. Okay. Then we jump to Haley Circus, which I don't remember where it was, but they were talking about being the international traveling circus. So I'm sure they were somewhere not in America, because they made a point to say international at this point, which I don't think they were. I think they were international in season 1. Anyway, we go to the Haley Circus with the return of Dan Danger after 10 years, because Dan Danger was a part of the Dangers family from season 1 when the group was trying to infiltrate Haley Circus, where they tracked down Parasite. Well, not tracked down Parasite, but one of the people there stealing powers and making robberies and stuff was Parasite. So anyway, Dan Danger makes his return show and does a nifty performance with some peeps and everything like that, and so they're doing good. But then, in the back, Zatanna approaches Dick, basically saying, "Look, I need I need a detective. Like, I don't need a Danger or a trapezist or whatever she called him, an acrobat. I need a detective." And she's like, "Well," and Nightwing seems to be very hesitant. I think he's been taking time off for a little bit, so obviously he's not really wanting to jump right back in the saddle. We then go into the Phantom Zone with Zod and Connor. They're talking about what just happened because they almost escaped the Phantom Zone, but the Phantom Zone projector did not recognize. The Phantom Zone projector did not recognize Connor, so they're like, "Well, wait a minute. So did the Kryptonians put you in here?" And so there's kind of throughout this episode, they're kind of unraveling the mystery. They find out that Connor is a member of the House of L, which of course General Zod's family is not a fan of the House of L's. The House of Zod is actually in contention with the House of L when he went into the Phantom Zone. They find out he's a clone. They find out that he's like that the person he was cloned from, Kal-El, was son of Jor-El and yada yada. So he basically, Zod is putting together who Connor is, how he got to be, and what he is. So we go back to with Dick and Zatanna, and they are starting to do their detective work. Their little typies on the computer. Riker looks up at me like I'm crazy. He's doing all that. He's starting to put facial recognition together. He found Bart, and then he found out that he was with two people from the from the Legion of Superheroes. And he tried to facial recognition them, and there's no match found in any database. So, of course, Dick's getting detectivity. Um, but they run the facial recognition through anything, like anything they can find, and they find out the last time that these two popped up on any facial recognition was in Metropolis with Superman. So of course they go and they visit Superman in Metropolis, and they go and they sit next to him, just like the Legion of Superhero people, Saturn Girl and Chameleon Boy did in earlier in the season. And so, Clark's like, they're like, Superman. Clark's like, man, I really need to find a better place to get a coffee. He won't, you know. So they try to talk to Superman, and he's radio silent. He says he cannot reveal who those people are or what they're doing. He said it's very sensitive information, whatever, whatever. So, of course, Zatanna and Dick aren't going to just leave well enough alone, which they shouldn't because they're on the trail. And they, so anyway, they go and they find whatever. So then they call in Artemis, and I don't remember why, but they call in Artemis, and she comes in, and they're talking about stuff, and then they go and talk to Rocket. So then we get this whole long exposition with Dick just figuring, like, putting all the pieces together in his head, like knowing how a detective's mind works. He starts linking all the chains together, and he's just like, wait a minute, okay. It's like, what's his face from Parks and Rec when he's by the board, and he's like, wait. But he's got all this stuff going on. And more importantly, we found out that Dick not only dated Zatanna, but he also dated Rocket. Or Raquel. I mean, how on the nose do you have to be when your power makes you into a rocket person, and your name is Raquel? Full on the nose. Anyway, Dick's a lean, mean dating machine, isn't he? I mean, he just dates everybody. And Artemis, of course, points this out. Of course, she's like, you guys dated him. Like, Artemis is like, I didn't date him. She's like, I dated Wally. I was smart. Anyway. Okay. So after all of that, they go and talk to Rocket, and Nightwing go and talk to Aquaman, basically saying that they need a fifth anchor, and that they're that Superboy may be alive. So they do the snap thing with the finger that she's been doing with everybody, basically showing them, look, I had this image of Superboy, and we saw this, basically kind of catching everybody up to speed without all the exposition. So what they're doing is they're making a 5-star pendant signet thingy on the ground. They're summoning Clarion, and they summon Clarion, and of course, Clarion, Zatanna says, you have a debt to repay to me. Let's get this show on the road. Like, I am now calling in your debt. And of course, Clarion's like, I'm a Chaos Lord. Like, I don't do debts. So then they start to fight, and Clarion's whipping all their asses. Like, bad. Like, they fought Clarion in the past, but this time, Clarion's really kicking their ass a lot. So... I'm trying to remember what happens. Zatanna casts a spell that basically makes him repay his debt. But then he says he repays their debt by not killing them, I guess. I guess there's no point in them calling him. I mean, but Clarion does know of the Phantom Zone. He says it's really boring. It's got a lot of rocks or something like that. So, yeah, Clarion makes an appearance, kicks everybody's ass. And then they barely make it out alive, even though they were in Salem in the Tower of Fate. So I don't know. One for Clarion, I guess, in this season. They were talking about they did talk about the bus again, which apparently everybody's freaking out about this bus. I don't know. We go back to the bioship where Lorzod and the Legion are They're kind of hanging out by New Genesis, and Mahalafa Ak is down on New Genesis trying to figure out where they took the Kaiser Thrall. Mahalafa Ak comes back, and he says that they took it to Io at the Green Lantern Corps. So of course they want to go there. So what they do is they release Bart Allen, aka Impulse, aka Kid Flash's speed, and then he gets in the cosmic treadmill, and they head off to Io. So basically, yeah, they're heading to Io to get the Kaiser Thrall. Interesting, and in the credits we learn that the Kaiser Thrall is actually, and we see She Forager, who became a Green Lantern last episode on Io, they're scanning the Kaiser Thrall. Interestingly enough, the Kaiser Thrall is a human boy that is 11 years old. I mean, I thought it might have been. We haven't seen Cyborg in a long time, and I'm like, is it Cyborg? I'm like, no, Cyborg was like 16, 17 when he turned into Cyborg. Victor Stone was much older. He was in high school, so it can't be. So where and what? Like, does this 11-year-old boy have a connection to anything? Is it going to be an aha moment when they reveal who it is? I was thinking Brainiac. I wonder if the Kaiser Thrall is Brainiac 5 from the future. I mean, we've seen the Legion of Superheroes. Brainiac 5 is a member of the Legion of Superheroes. Is the Kaiser Thrall, like, keeping Brainiac 5 in captivity inside there? I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm theorizing at this point. But yeah, I think that would be kind of interesting if like that was Brainiac 5, and because Apocalypse had the Kaiser Thrall, and he gave it to Zod, so I guess it wouldn't be Brainiac 5 unless somehow they got a hold of Brainiac 5, or it could be Brainiac 1, but I don't know. I think that's too many Superman villains coming out in a season, because you got Zod coming soon. But yeah, I thought this episode was pretty good, moving things along, bringing the team back together. Because in this episode, we got Nightwing, Artemis, Zatanna, Rocket, Aquaman. We did not have Miss Martian. This episode, but we're definitely gearing up for the final episodes of the season. Everything's kind of coming to a head. I'm assuming, if you look down here, you can kind of see how Zod has it doesn't look all translucent-y blue. So I'm guessing Zod will make it out into the real world eventually. And probably that will be the end of the season. Or maybe that'll be like the end and like the cliffhanger. I doubt it. I think they'll one and done it. I think they will. Zod may get out, but then he'll either get banished back into the Phantom Zone or the Dead Zone like Garlic Jr. or whatever. So what we're wrapping up though is good to see Nightwing again. It's been way too long since we've had time with this team. I love seeing them all together in this episode. As I said, I think it's an interesting format that they're doing this season, but it's not exactly what I want out of Young Justice because it's also fragmented. It does give a chance for like the side characters to shine. I understand that, but I really, really, really want to see the team together more often. Even if it's not every episode, like Young Justice Unlimited had some episodes that had the main Justice League together, but then they had other episodes where like the team and would take a bunch of side characters and do a mission or something like that. So, this one is very fragmented, but I'm glad the team looks like they're getting back together. I mean, we got all of them except for Miss Martian in this one. Hopefully next week we'll see Ms. Martian, and we'll go from there. Anyway, with that all being said, thank you very much for watching. Let me know down below what you thought about this episode. And how you're thinking Young Justice Phantoms is going. Are you glad that we're on Nightwing now? Do you think Nightwing should have been at the beginning, middle, before now? Yeah, if you haven't already, please consider giving us a like and subscribing to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you've kind of maybe sort of heard of. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Catch you later.